Hi, I'm Jessica with Nooks and Bloom. I recently renovated our powder room and I just love how it came out. If you'd like to watch that renovation, check out this video here. One of my favorite decor items in this small space that really brightened up the space were a couple of thrift store picture frames that I flipped and turned into beautiful wall art. I love putting my personal stamp on home decor, and this project I'm going to share with you today, even if you're not an artist, will have you creating amazing wall art. So come along and I'll show you what you need and how easy it is. So here are my $2 each thrift store picture frames, which are looking pretty cheap and brassy. I didn't show it in this video, but I did spray paint the frames with Rust-Oleum Gold shiny paint, and that transformed the frame beautifully. So I'm taking out the backing here, and as you can see, it is a little bit difficult. You have to make sure you pull up the staples on the edges and that you're careful when you're pulling out the glass so you don't break it. So I'm going to use the glass to measure a cardboard piece that I'm going to cut out. This cardboard is what we're going to use to create our art on. It will no longer look like cardboard, it will look like beautiful art once we're done with it. So now I've cut out both of my cardboard squares, and I'm going to use modeling paste to create a raised stencil. Keep this little plastic protector on your modeling paste if it comes in the jar. It helps keep the paste moist. And I'm using a small stencil for this small square. To start making our raised stencil, I get a spatula and I just start caking it on over the stencil with flat movements. You never want to push sideways or in and out of the stencil. You don't want to smudge your textured or raised stencil. You want to kind of keep your spatula or your putty knife parallel to the surface of the stencil. Once you have all of your paste on there, then you can skim it back to almost flush with the stencil. You're just going to skim it back a little bit and make everything nice and smooth. And once that is done, you can peel back and look how gorgeous this raised stencil is coming out on our little cardboard square. So I'm going to do that on the other square because I'm going to hang both of these pictures on my wall, and it's just going to be the same process. Now I'm going to show you how I take care of my stencils and make sure they last for many uses. As soon as I use the stencil, I wash it gently. I use a sponge or my fingers to just get the paste off, and sometimes if it's really a lot of paint, I will do the same, because you really want to clean these little plastic stencils off before they dry. So now it's been a couple hours and my raised stencil is dry. The raised stencil is going to give this artwork texture and a beautiful pattern. I'm going to use several layers of paint, starting with this color which is called Chocolate Swirl by Behr. It's a brown, like a chocolate brown, and that is going to be the base of my artwork. You are going to want a base for this layer technique, and I like to go with a darker base and then add on contrasting colors. Once I get everything applied on my cardboard, I'm going to let this dry. This is chalk paint that I have made, and it is the best to work with in layers because it dries very quickly. Now I'm going with this aqua color, which is called Reflecting Pool by Sherwin. And I'm going to start dabbing it on and also stroking it sideways and up and down As you can see, I'm getting lots of yummy texture. This is how the art is going to start to reveal before your eyes. Doing this will also help define the stencil details, which is what we want. As you can see, I'm leaving some of the brown underneath exposed, and as you add layers, you're going to see your artwork take place, and you can add more or less of each color as you like. Now I'm using a gray by Behr, which is a very nice light gray, and I'm just going to add a little bit to kind of distress my art and make it look more aged. Just using a little bit, not as much as the aqua color that I just used. This is coming together beautifully, and it gives this little cardboard a lot of detail and a lot of color. You can't even tell it's cardboard anymore. Now I'm going to add cranberry chalk paste, which is beautiful to work with. It is very strong, so I only dab it on in random parts and just kind of create some burgundy highlights here. This is going to go with the wall color in my newly renovated powder room because it's a similar color. Then I'm going to play with some other metallic waxes. Here I have Gold Leaf Rub and Buff, and I'm going to put a little on my finger and rub it again in random parts. There is no wrong way to do this, guys. You are really just expressing yourself on this little piece of cardboard. You can do this technique on any scale. You can do it on large canvas prints or smaller pieces like this or medium pieces. Either way, you're going to create something beautiful, abstract, or defined with beautiful floral details, whatever you like. Now I'm using my old Denim Metallic Wax by Art Alchemy. I love these waxes. They're just beautiful to accent details and just add color. I am just going to rub this again all over in random fashion. You can play with your colors, both waxes and paints, as many layers as you like. The more layers you have, the more depth, dimension, and texture you will create. I'm not quite finished with the look yet. I'm going to kind of make this a little more cohesive by adding another layer of my reflecting pool color and just not completely hiding the undercolors, but bringing everything together, tying everything a little bit better together. After I do the aqua, I add a little bit more of the cranberry because I feel like I kind of hit it a little too much. I want to bring it out a little bit more. And now I'm going to add some final gray details, just a little bit here and there. And here's one final bit of the aqua. I just couldn't help adding a little bit more, but this is going to be the last detail. Like I said, play with the look until you are happy with it. Let me know what you think of this transformation in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe for more fun tutorials.